In this video, we're going to learn how to find the p-value when we are given the test z-value, compare it with the level of significance alpha. Then we can make a conclusion about the null hypothesis, whether you're going to reject it or fail to reject it. The method we're going to be using here is the p-value method, and we're going to be using the table, z-table. Okay, so let's start. The best way again is to graph the problem. So we have a z-value here, it's going to be 0.52. This is going to be your z-axis, the bell shape, and 0 is going to be here. So 0.52, because it's positive, you're going to be on the right side. So in this value here, we're going to raise a vertical line, and this tail over here will be the right tail that we are looking for its area. So 0.52 is going to be the z test. This area over here, this will be the p-value. Okay, so let's go through the steps. Here are the 5 steps of the hypothesis testing. So the first step, we're gonna describe the null hypothesis, and looking at the tail here is the right tail, and this is nothing other than hypothesis h1. So we can go ahead, and the first step, we're gonna describe h1. h1 obviously here is on the right side, so we're gonna compare it to the z0, and the mean here is supposed to be greater than 0. Alright, now h0, which is the null hypothesis, that's going to be the complementary statement to this one, or the opposite statement. So this is going to be the mean less or equal than 0, or in some books they state the mean equals to 0. Alright, what we have to keep in mind that h0 is always having an equal sign into the statement. Second step, we want to specify the level of significance, and that's going to be the 0.05. So the second step, alpha, is going to be equal to 0.05. The third step, we want to figure out what is the test statistic. So usually we calculate it by other values. However, in this example, is given to us, and the z test is equal to 0.52. All right, so we are up to the fourth step, and we want to calculate the p-value. So the p-value is always deducted from the z test value, which is equal to 0.52. And here we're going to be using the table. So if you're going to use the table, and I'm gonna read 0.52. So 0.5 is right here. I need to go to 0.52, so I'm gonna go all the way to this number, and this is the value that I'm looking for, which is 0.6980. So according to my chart, the value that I just found is this, in fact, 0.6985. Alright, so this is the green area. Then if I want to figure out the yellow area, that will be 1 minus the green area, which is 0.6985, and let's do it on the calculator. And this is going to be equals to 0.3015. Okay, so the p-value here, after finding it on the table, is going to be equals to 0.301. So now we are up to the fifth step, and we want to compare the p-value with the alpha value. So the p-value here is equal to 0.3015. The alpha is equal to 0.05, and obviously the p-value is greater. So what the meaning of this? All right, So the alpha value, if I have to graph it here, it's going to be right here somewhere, so that the area of this small tail. And what we need to know is this is the threshold where you can decide accept and reject. So this is your alpha. Outward alpha is the boundary between the rejection zone, reject 80, and do not reject zone. All right, and because the p-value or the z-value is falling in do not reject zone, then we are not rejecting 80. So this is fail to reject 80, and that's all.